Welcome to Integrity Inspire, your daily dose of inspiration and motivation, featuring the bright and talented members of the Integrity Marketing Group family. Now, here's your host, Integrity co-founder and CEO, Brian W. Adams.
Well, hello, everybody. Thanks so much for joining today's Inspire podcast. I'm so excited to be welcoming another incredible new partner to the Integrity family. I'm super excited to welcome Tracy Weir of Senior Med Benefits. She's the president of Senior Med Benefits and is founded and headquartered in Utah, where her and her husband, John, run the business and do an incredible job of serving so many people, especially in that area. And I can't wait to see what the integrity effect will have on their business as we come alongside of each other and work together with new products, services, resources, technology, and more. Tracy, thanks so much for joining us. I'm so excited to share your story. And as we've been talking a little bit, there's so many different facets of your story that I think we could go into. But the first one I think we should talk about is how you got into the business. Tell us about that.
Oh, goodness. So right out of college, I got a job as an administrative assistant and did that for a while, and then kind of worked my way up dealing with mid-sized groups, large groups. Got a job at a brokerage house at that point, then got into some management positions. And my husband worked for Hewlett Packard at the time, and he got laid off. And I said, well, maybe you should do insurance. So he got his license and started doing Medicare. And I just was like, great, do Medicare, whatever you want to do. And then we got transferred to Spokane, and I started looking for a job. And he said, have you considered doing Medicare? And I thought, oh, no. I'm a group agent.
That was my recommendation for you, not
Yeah, exactly. I didn't say I would do it. I said, you should do it. So I said, okay, well, I'm willing to try. And so I got signed on as an ICA, and my first AEP, I sold 160 applications and had so much fun. Just meeting people, serving people. I didn't know seniors. I mean, they have such a wealth of knowledge and experience, and it was just so much fun. And so I ended up kind of continuing that. And I realized at that point, just the flexibility I had to be with my kids. I didn't miss anything that they did, not a game. I could volunteer. I didn't miss any activities. I said, okay, I'm in. And then he got transferred to Utah back in 2012. And he said, maybe you should try building more of an agency instead of just being on your own. And so it kind of started there. It was very grassroots, and it's grown since.
It's amazing the business you guys have and what you've built and how many people you serve. I love that you said that this is a business about serving others.
Yeah.
That's something that we just talk about all the time, and I truly believe that we make a huge difference in people's lives by serving others. But when you moved to Utah, is that when you met Ron Kellogg and the Kellogg Group?
So not me personally, but my husband, he knew Ron, and Ron just had such a way of making you feel so important and just like you just really mattered. So finally, John's like, I think we need to move to Ron Kellogg. And I said, okay, let's do it. And it was the best decision I ever made.
Wow. Ron Kellogg, there's certain people that have just like incredible legacy in this business and of serving others, of doing it the right way. Yeah. And Ron, if you knew Ron, you loved Ron. He unfortunately passed away a few years ago. I was telling you the story earlier. We were partnering with Ron and Kevin Owens, and it was, we had kind of gotten everything done. And this was probably in, I can't remember, 2017 or something. And Ron, I think, was 76 years old. And we were meeting. He goes, Brian, I don't know if I really want to do this right now. He said, I want to work for another 20 years and then we should talk. And I said, Ron, you'd be 96 years old. And he goes, yeah. He goes, my longest serving agent was 96 and I want to outwork him. And I was like, okay, Ron, but like you can still work. Like we can keep doing this. But he said, no, I want to do that. And then he had a stroke, and man, it was just heartbreaking after that. But him and Beth and their entire family are just such great people. And then thank God they had Kevin Owens there that was able to step in and was already his partner. And Kevin's one of the greatest guys in the world. And so it's been fun to work with Agent Pipeline, with the Kellogg, and now being able to work with you. And the opportunity for us to come alongside of Senior Med Benefits, provide even more resources to you, is something that we're super excited about. Now, you've been in the business for quite some time. How amazing has it been for you to see the advancement in technology and some of the new resources and things that we've been working on. Tell us from your perspective what that's been like.
With Kellogg and Integrity, it has been absolutely altering how we do business now. So not only do we have those databases where when I started, we just had a spreadsheet of your clients, so now we have.
Well, when I started, we had pieces of paper.
Yeah, there you go. My husband probably still has a couple of those books that he has all his clients' names in. It's just been a radical change in how we do things and how much we can stay in touch with our clients. And we don't have clients that say, I don't know, someone signed me up 5 years ago and I've never heard from them since. So that has been amazing for my agents to be able to really stay on top of people, really care about their clients and communicate with them in a much better way. For recruiting, it has been absolutely the reason why we're going to be able to, skyrocket as far as that goes, because in years past, it's always just been more organic, people that we know. But now with the technology and the tools, we can meet with a new agent and say, look, we can make this a lot simpler for you. It's a one-stop shop. We don't have to teach. It's not so overwhelming for a new agent. And so it's been really changing how we do business and how we recruit. And
well, I love hearing that. And I think it comes back to that heart of service. It allows you to serve people better.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. And then, especially if you can anticipate what their needs are, if you can anticipate if they may switch or they've got an issue with their plan. Mm-hmm. And then with Ask Integrity, what we're doing now with that has been so enlightening so that we can make sure that people get the right specialist involved, make sure they get the right coverage. And I think it'll lead to ultimately just a better outcome for everybody involved. And that's something that we're just passionate about. And so we love all those ideas. Any new ideas you have, we want to be able to continue to add that in as well. Now, speaking of different things that you've been working on, I also understand you and your husband are remodeling a house or have remodeled a house. We were just talking about this. My wife and I have gone through this, and there's nothing like the marriage enrichment that you get from trying to pick out tile and wallpaper. What's that been like?
Thankfully, I have a husband that gives some input, but, eventually sort of relents and lets me do what I want.
Did Robin ask you to say that?
I probably, so you're welcome.
Don't let Robin see this. Oh.
So, usually he gives some input. I try to take a little bit of that, but ultimately, he lets me kind of do what I want. And then at the end, he's like, okay, I really like it. So it works really well. And one thing that we love is just spending time together doing that. That's something that we really enjoy.
That's awesome.
We, things that we're not capable of doing, we do hire that out. I always tease people that my husband's not super handy, but he does, make sure that we get it done. He'll hire someone to do it. But some of the stuff we can do ourselves, we enjoy. And there's nothing that feels more accomplishing than.
There's some truth to that.
Yeah. That at the end of a weekend, you feel like, we got some good stuff done and we like it. Yeah.
It's funny when you talk about that. There is something about being able to get a project done. I'm not handy at all, but you get that project done, you're like, man, I did that.
Yeah.
Like, look at that. And it's not one of my gifts, but it is fun to, when you get to the other side. We just remodeled our office here in Dallas. We moved into a new building that was kind of dilapidated and or at least the floors we moved into. And we got just an incredible deal where the landlord said, we'll pay for everything and build this out. But that project was so stressful of going through and picking out, like, do you want this or this? And I'm like, I don't know, they look the same. And I happen to have a strong opinion because I want it all perfect. And it's still going on, but it's been a crazy project, but it's been fun, right? And so I also heard that your husband is a really bad gift giver. And he gave you a cat one time.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
So he notoriously is a terrible gift giver. And
on purpose or
I don't think it's on purpose. I just think he thinks he's being, really sweet, and it's just really bad. It just is what it is. But we've been married 27 years this year, and probably 25 years ago, he figured I like Halloween. My birthday's in October. So he gave me this really weird Halloween cat. And I opened it and I thought, okay, where's the real gift, And he was like, I thought you'd like it. And I was like, okay. And so now it's become a family tradition. Every October, he finds me some Halloween cat figurine, and I have a whole collection of them. And even my daughter yesterday, my birthday, she says, where's the Halloween cat Dad got you? So it's,
oh my gosh,
they love it. It's now we have shelves that they go on every Halloween when we decorate, and it's the silliest tradition. And my kids absolutely love it now too. They can't wait to see what Halloween cat I got this year.
The Halloween cat.
Yep.
It feels like you could write a children's book about the gift of the Halloween cat.
That's a great idea.
So do you have real cats?
I do. We have 2 real cats. Yeah.
Yeah. How's that?
I actually never thought I would really like cats. I've always
Yeah.
been kind of a dog person. And when our last dog passed away, I thought, well, there's so much work. And my daughter said, can we get a cat? And I thought, okay. We got her cat and she was sweet. And then we went to go get, this is a funny story. So it was on Super Bowl Sunday, and we went to the pet store to just get cat food for the one cat.
Yeah.
And my husband's waiting in the car, and the kids and I go in, and I'm looking for cat food. And they say, can we go look at the kittens? I'm like, sure, whatever, that's fine, go do that. So they go do that, and I walk in the room to get them, and this kitten literally jumps up my body into my arms. And I thought, well, I can't leave it now.
Take this home.
Yeah. So my husband's texting me like, seriously, where are you?
Yeah,
I want to go watch the game. And cat walked out with cat food and another cat. But he's the sweetest. My vet says he's 1 in a million. He loves people. You come to my house, he will literally jump in your arms and let you hold him. Yeah, he loves people.
So I may need some advice. So my son, my youngest son, for some reason has always been into cats. He loves cats. And so he wanted a cat. And I mentioned this on a podcast that he wanted a cat. And I got so many people who were like, I'll send you a cat. You need a cat, I've got a cat. And I was like, man, talk about bad gift giving.
Yeah.
A real cat would be really bad. I'd take a cat figurine. And so I was traveling one day, and I started getting just like text messages from my wife of pictures of this cat. And I'm with Tom Dempsey, and I'm like, dude, Robin is texting me, like, look at all these pictures of this kitty. What's the deal? And he's like, bro, you're about to get a cat. And so sure enough, we adopted a cat. There was this cat lady in my neighborhood, and I hope she never watches this, but there's a stray cat in the neighborhood, has kittens, and she like befriends this cat, takes them in, and then she adopted them out. And so there was this one, and he's the cutest little thing. They named him Cuddles. And so we go and see Cuddles, and man, just like your cat climbing up on you. I mean, you let a 9-year-old see he was 8 at the time, a little kitty, and you're like, well, I don't think we can undo this. I'm telling Rob, I'm like, it's like an 18-year decision potentially.
Yeah,
like, I'm not sure.
Long time.
Let's think this through. So we take little Cuddles home. Shiloh is a Kansas City Chiefs fan through and through. Renamed him Chief, and he was the sweetest little kitty until all of a sudden, now he's got 2 modes. He's got Cuddles mode and play mode. And when he gets into play mode, that cat is crazy, like jumping off of stuff, biting at you. He'll bite at you. Like, you'll start playing with him, he'll just start biting you. And you kind of be like, Chief, stop. Most cats would like run off. He pins his ears back. This cat like pins his ears back. He's like, let's go. So if you tell him like, stop, he's like, oh, that means let's go. And so we're not sure what to do with little play mode Chief right now. He's actually a fun little cat, but we're still trying to figure out, like, because it's not, I've only had dogs. I've never really had cats. So a dog, you can like train them. We're not having much luck on training kittens. Do you have any ideas?
Oh my goodness, this is going to be super embarrassing. There is a show that you should watch. It's called My Cat from Hell.
Oh my God. Well, listen, I'm living My Cat from Hell for right now.
He has some great training tools. My guess is your cat just has a lot of energy. So
he's got a lot of energy, that's for sure,
I would get some play toys that your kids have to play with him until he is laying on the ground. What's the word? Like he just went for a big long run.
Yeah.
So tire him out.
Wear him out.
Yeah.
So the litter box, man, I don't know. Man, I had no idea. Like we got this cat for free, and then we about broke the bank on a litter box. We got a robotic litter box.
I have one too, litter robot.
Bro,
they're amazing.
And it goes in there and they're like, it is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
My deal was, I'm not touching that thing.
Yep.
If you guys, we're gonna have a cat, you're in charge, and then that was my deal. The problem is now I'm like, Robin's like, hey, you need to go take out the litter robot's 80% full. Can you go take care of it? It weighs the cat, does everything. It's crazy, man.
Yeah, super smart, but never have to scoop cat litter again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing.
It is pretty. The first week we were scooping cat litter, and I'm like, I'm not doing that again. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so if anybody has ideas, so My Cat from Hell, I'm gonna go on that. And then probably just try to wear it out. But I'm not kidding. Like the cat, I Googled cat pins ears back, and is like, don't touch a cat that pins his ears back, because man, he does, and he's just like, Like, oh my gosh, it's going to be crazy. The other thing is, I understand, so we have project names for everything.
Mm-hmm.
This Project Powell, and it was named after Lake Powell.
Yeah.
You guys love boating.
We do.
And wakeboarding or wake surfing.
Wake surfing.
And tell us about where that passion comes from.
So it started when my son was, 14 or 15. My husband's never been a toy guy, so we've never had, snowmobiles or anything like that. And when our son started to become a teenager, we're like, okay, we got to be intentional about having him spend time with us and about making sure we know who he's hanging out with and what these kids are like. And so my husband and I talked about it and said, let's buy a boat. And my husband's like, seriously? And I'm like, it seems to work, no kid says no when you say we're going boating, you want to go? No kid says no to that. No friends say no to that. They love it. So we bought our first boat, and it was just an old Four Winds that, all you could do was ski or wakeboard on it. And my husband, after the second season, he was wakeboarding, and he must have hit that just right because he smacked his face on the water.
Oh my gosh.
And he said that was like hitting concrete. He was like, that hurt.
Oh.
So next boat show we went, and we were like, okay, we're going to look at boats and see about wake surfing because you can only go 10 miles an hour and you're not going to hurt yourself. But it's been the most fun. And then we ended up buying into a houseboat. But I do have to tell you the story of my most recent boat. So we bought one in 2020, and we were at the boat show. We just went to just go have a good time, just go walk around. My husband went off to
getting cat food.
Oh yeah, pretty much.
Getting cat food with
a cat food
and a kitty to go.
So he's off to go get a drink, and I am talking to the same place I bought our Moomba, and he's like, well, these are things you didn't like about your Moomba. This is what's fixed in the Super, and I'm like, okay, chatting with him, and then my husband comes about 20 minutes later, and he's like, I'm in the boat, and he's like, oh, that's a nice boat, and I said, yeah, you might want to jump up here, and he's like, no, I'm good, and I go, no, seriously,
it's yours.
I already bought it, and he's like,
oh my gosh,
no, you didn't, and I'm like, no, I did. Like, you might want to come take a look at it. So every time we go on a lake, he goes, I am so glad we bought this boat.
Yeah.
It is like the best wave. My kids absolutely love it. But Lake Powell has been something that has just kind of changed our family life. It is something that when you take that houseboat out, you can't get any type of service. And so it is intentional time. Like, they can't be on their phones. They can't be plugged in. It's not an option. There's no service out there. So we have the best time boating all day. And then in the evenings, we play tons of games. We always do our annual Pictionary game. I can't even play because I have to listen to all the, answers to see who, got it first. It's super competitive. And then one other thing that we do pretty much every time we're out there is we night surf. And so we go out when it's night. Our boat lights up the water. They surf at night. We put all of those, what are those little light?
The glow sticks.
The glow sticks all over their life jackets, and it's one of their favorite things. So we wait for the one night that's really calm, and if we can do it, if we get a calm night, we go out and we night surf, and it's their favorite thing to do.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Super fun.
So I love your point about being intentional. Mm-hmm. That's something that, especially with kids, man, you have to be intentional. And you talk about, we don't have a boat, but I've got some friends that do. It is crazy. Yeah. Like with I don't know what they all are, but where they got the water, build or where it creates the wake and all that stuff. But the one thing, you won't probably remember long term how much you spent on that boat, but you will remember all of those night surfing or the time that you have the kids there, and it is one of those things today more than ever. You've got to be intentional about like getting off of screen time, getting away from video games and putting your phone down, which is hard for a lot of us. But I love that you do that. And there's just something like about water. Yeah. I don't know what it is about being at an ocean and looking at the water, being at the lake, being by a river. It's just, there's just so much peace around that. You hear a lot about Lake Powell in the news about being really low. Yeah. What has it been like with that?
So the last few years were rough. Definitely, it's funny when you go, because we know the lake pretty well. We go every year. And when the water was really low,
if you're surfing at night, you better
you got to be careful. Yes, you have to know where all those rocks are. But it has been interesting the last few years going, okay, now I don't really know where I'm at. Like, that rock formation wasn't there before. And so you figured it out. But last year we had a great snow year in Utah, probably one of the best ones we've had in a long time. And so it definitely had a lot more water. I always have to remember, we view Lake Powell as fun, but it has a purpose, for power. So, it's a good thing when we get water out there. But it is one of my favorite places on Earth.
So how much did it come up?
60 feet or something, maybe more.
Feet.
I don't remember exactly.
Think
but
about that for a minute.
And
60 feet. And that
is
is
a
massive lake.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like Lake Mead and Lake Powell. You hear about that all the time. You know, it's always in the news. But now being able to see like something coming up 60 feet.
Yeah.
That is so much water. Because doesn't it expand like through multiple states and things?
It's on the border of Utah and Arizona. So yeah, it's a very large lake. I mean, you can get out and not see another boat. You can go find areas to boat and not see anyone else out there.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so it's amazing. Super fun.
That is incredible. Well, you mentioned earlier that yesterday was your birthday.
It was.
And happy birthday.
Thank you.
We like to celebrate everything here at Integrity, including a little Integrity cupcake. We didn't know what to get, but we thought we would say happy birthday.
Thank you so much.
We appreciate you coming out here. We're so excited to be your partner. We want to be intentional on how we serve you more and serve all of our partners. And we want to celebrate. There's so much to celebrate here at Integrity about how we serve people and how we celebrate people's birthdays and just kind of every part of what we try to do. And so thank you very much for being our partner. Thank you for joining us. And I hope you have a great birthday.
Thank you so much.
Hey, thanks so much. Really appreciate it. Hey, I hope everybody's had as much fun as I have learning more about this incredible business and great people. This is a people business. And when you have an opportunity to partner with even more great people, this is just something that's just such a special moment for all of us. And so please wish Tracy happy birthday as well. And really excited about this opportunity to partner together and so many other opportunities to partner with even more great people as we go and serve even more people together. Hope everybody has an amazing week. God bless you all and take care.